Disclaimer: the information and education material contained herein is meant to promote the general understanding and dialogue of GANs processing. Such information is not meant or intended to serve as a substitute for a healthcare professional's clinical training, experience, or judgment. For patients and individuals, such information is not to be a substitute for professional medical, therapeutic, or healthcare advice or counseling. For medical issues or concerns, including decisions about medications and other treatments, readers, viewers, listeners should always consult their physician or, in serious cases, seek immediate assistance from emergency personnel. Prescription information, procedures, and use of medical devices information should be undertaken only by properly trained and certified medical personnel. We specifically disclaim any warranties, express or implied, including implied warranties of merchantability or fitness for a particular purpose. Such information is provided, as is, and is believed to be accurate at the time of its publishing, but it is the viewer's job to evaluate the accuracy of any information found in this presentation. Every case presented is of their own experience, applied by themselves for themselves, and it applies to their case only. Every person experiencing health problems should seek professional medical advice and consult their course of treatment with a doctor. The processes of plasma balancing described herein are a natural process which supports the body but does not replace medical advice or therapies one is already subject to.
In the world of creation, we had the two extremes, except in the case of the Creator and Mitra, where we could never bring the functionality of the soul within the functionality of physicality. We had the physicality hidden within the soul, or soul within the physicality, or in conjunction of the two, one would never had the understanding of the totality, where we could transit but exist in both directions. With the new cycle, this is what Einstein said: when you turn one atom, the other atom changes. This new dimension will blow that field which commonly exists between all the cells of the universe into that position, which means all the created things, as a gift from the Creator in a way, become able to transmute between the two dimensions. There's a reason for this, and it's taken a long time for it to be done, and it has reached its pinnacle, and it will be completed. It's already in the process of being completed. Was to take from the essence of the soul of every created things of the time, beginning of time, an essence of the creation of the soul, or the center, and create a new creature which carries all the essence of the created in the new soul, which can with it go from the soul of the Creator to the soul of physicality of Mitra. This is what the whole knowledge is. The Creator is the universe, and Mitra the dimension of physicality and its behavior towards the dimension of physicality. And with a new system, every creature in the universe will have the understanding of the capability to transmute between the two. This has a lot of implication for all races in the universe, because now they all become the same. In the coming time, we will see even change in the position of galaxies, position of universes. Many systems will move due to the changes which has been brought. Man doesn't have that knowledge as such to monitor, but we'll have the knowledge to see, we'll have the time to see that with the new fields, as we call it, a lot of things will move in the right position to keep that ability to change between the two. That you don't need to kill to keep the physicality going, you don't need to steal, and the soul does not need to be engaged or to escape, to be out on its own, to be able to confirm its existence. And this this process will complete very soon. That the whole of universal community will be able to have the benefit of the two, both in the dimension of energy or matter, which never existed. When we released the soul, we had to get rid of the physicality. You call it death. When we brought the soul, you had to give it the physicality, and you go through the dimension of the birth, and then you have the whole commotion of bringing the two. With a new system, both soul and the soul of physicality work together in the existence of dimension. We expect a massive change in the physical characteristics of human race in the coming century, because we change into the emotion of the physicality. The way, as I said many times, but many never understood, Indians and Pakistanis were the same, till one chose to take different kind of energy in the other one, and we see change of the feature. Now, with the balance between the soul of the man and the soul of physicality of man, many of us will change feature, without a shadow of a doubt. Man will change the faces of anger, man will change the faces of hate, man will change the face of warmongering, because we get satisfied in the fields of it. And this is part of what will be and what has already started, and the completion of will be the birth of Mitra. Physical completion of birth of Mitra in a physical dimension, not in myths. And then we have the soul of the Creator, which the two will complete the cycle. And then, as I said very recently to one of my listeners, then we'll see if Adam will eat from the apple of love and giving it. And then we'll see how humanity will change. And the whole creation will change. We are at the verge of that change. Much, much closer than anybody could think of, not only a human race.
Welcome, everyone. Welcome to the 68th public meeting for testimonials here on Monday, July 11th, 2022. This is a broadcast of the Keshe Foundation Spaceship Institute Education Department and part of the public teachings in English. My name is Rick Crammond, and I'll be a host today along with Mark. And I believe we're ready to dive into today's testimonials meeting. The picture on the graphic here today is from, I believe it's the fourth, what's it called? The Space Travel Simulations Testimonials workshop. And we see Stefania here, and she's leading the discussion at that moment. And they're talking about their experiences in the space travel simulation program that Mr. Kesh is operating in Linz, Austria. And we've seen a number of testimonials from that group, and we'll continue to see more. And we hope to actually see some testimonials from that today, possibly as well. We'll find out more about that later. Now, usually I ask at this point in the show, is there anybody that has any testimonials they would like to bring forward to begin today's show?
Rick, hi, it's Dean here. Can you hear me?
Yes. Hi, Dean. Just let me.
Hi, Rick.
There we go.
So, testimonial. I can haven't been present in the exhibition in the flight simulation area. I can give some testimonials to the souls that have experienced this simulation, and as I'm nearby and experiencing some of the field interactions, I notice a very significant and beautiful position, a changed position within the people when they first enter the building, and particularly some when they then transfer their energy into the room and have this flight experience. And I've noticed, being present in physicality, I've noticed big changes in the dimensions of the look and feel of the individuals that have these experiences. There's a big energy flow, a very big energy transfer that I sense all around them when they enter the room. They have all their various excitements and feelings of what am I going to experience, and what do I need or want, and some others go in with the thought that they just leave it to their soul, or they leave it to the experience to happen. So there's lots of excitement within the physicalities of these people. And then when they are in these rooms, having taken interviews from them afterwards, after careful guidance, Mr. Kesh speaks to them, and they explain what they've experienced to Mr. Kesh, and Mr. Kesh then guides them and asks them if they would like to have an interview. And so if they feel obliged to, they come through to myself, and I sit them down and just gently talk to them and let them express their experiences to camera or into a voice position if they'd rather, so that we can share these experiences. And I know that many of these experiences have been experienced and shown on all the platforms, and I believe many people have actually tuned in and listened to these souls speaking, can see the what I sensed and the energy flow that I experience when they come out of the room. You get this very deep connection where they the experiences that they've had are so profound, and the physical dimensions around them and the plasmatic conditions around them, as in the soul aspect, the energy is, with some people that come out, is very, very, I sense it is very, very powerful, if that's the right word. Very, very distinctive field strength. I've always been slightly sensitive to these fields, and some people, when they come out, there's this buffer zone all around them. They've got like this sphere of interaction and you can sense it all around them. And when you then speak with them and let them share their experiences, there's an overwhelming joy and love within the soul. Some of them experience physical interactions, and their bodies having even almost straight away, some of them are experiencing within very short moments certain things. I said, Stefania said something about her skin felt a lot smoother, and a lot, she felt younger. So she's had an interaction in there where she went in with her boyfriend, and she had an interaction that made them feel younger when they came out. And other people have said other things they've had, and this has all been shown. So it's open, it's in the public view, so I can actually speak about it. They've said that they've had interactions where their physical being is starting to change. So for me, they are, when they go to this experience and they go on this flight simulation, their physical bodies, when they go through the field strength of the emotion of traveling in a dimension of soul, even a lot of people say that when they come out, I didn't travel, or some people do, I should say. And for me, I always thought to myself, well, when we go to sleep at night, we often, some of us dream and some of us don't dream, as in we don't remember our dreams, but we all travel, we all go off into universes and go off into other dimensions. And so I think it's the same for these souls and these beautiful people that are going in and having these experiences. That some of them say they don't haven't experienced anything. However, for me, they have received a very large spectrum of energies and a very deep connection. And I'm sure over a period of time, those interactions will start to manifest in many, many different ways. They are deeply connected, and I'm sure those experiences will come through. The other thing I'd like to say is when these souls come out of the flight experience, I touched on it a little bit earlier. You can see this overwhelming beauty, this overwhelming joy. I've said this before, behind the eyes, so that it's like you can see they've touched the essence of the soul of this interaction or on a soul level. And when they come back in the physical sense, they carry forward that field strength of that joy, that unconditional joy, and that essence that is the touchiness. How do we describe it? The soul dimension. And I know it's been mentioned many times in the workshops and by Mr. Kesh and many knowledge seekers and people that have experienced the ethos of the foundation, that you go through this process of touching the essence of creation, and it's so overwhelming that when you come back to physicality, it's a heaviness, and it's another aspect to try and describe it, other than I just see this joy in as I say, behind the eyes and in their face, and they have this overwhelming look of love and beauty within them. I'm not saying they didn't have it before, because all souls are beautiful and all physicalities are wonderful. However, you can see they've touched the essence of themselves and the creation. And taking the interviews afterwards, is I sense and feel this interaction, and it's quite incredible how sometimes I've spoken about this as well, but I find it difficult to focus on them because there's so much energy coming from these souls that sometimes I find it difficult to focus. It's almost like my eyes are going through a filtering process, trying to see the physical body, and sometimes my eyes just won't focus. It's a strange thing. And I sense with some people I've spoken to, I get this tingling sensation all over myself and my body as well. I feel this like a connection of something, feeling this interaction in the fields from the physical bodies, but it's the plasmatic condition of this interaction of the soul has been experiencing and is very awake in that moment. I mean, the soul's always awake. However, in that moment that I speak to them, the soul, my soul and their soul and all the souls present there seems to be a very tingly sensation. That's all I can say. That's quite phenomenal. And it is an honor and a pleasure to actually speak to these people, these beautiful souls as they've gone through this experience. And some of them go to very profound positions of traveling multidimensionally to all sorts of places that have been spoken about in the testimonials. And people experiencing connections with other souls that have passed away, or other souls that they wish to go and visit, whatever that, whether it's a prophet or whether it's somebody within their own family, or whether it's a physical body of a planet. They've experienced some quite remarkable interactions. And so for me, the testimony would be that the plasmatic condition of this environment, which is present within the room, it seems to be expanding and growing and touching the souls one by one. And this expansion is, as I say, it's the covering. It seems to be becoming more and more apparent. And I know that once these souls actually leave the building and then go back to wherever they reside, I'm sure within a thought, within an intention, they can be present once more within those environments that they've gone to. And I'm sure that they're having many different interactions over a period of time that will be reported on in the moments to follow. So I think there's some very big things to come. I know that these interactions will get more and more, and then we will come to a position where the interactions may be that we, as Mr. Kesh is starting to release more and more and bring these technologies forward, these the wonderful interactions that we know that are capable within the foundation's workings that Mr. Kesh has been teaching. He's spoken about many times about being able to produce an energy envelope. So not transferring the matter, but bringing forward the energy, which is obviously very light, in physical forms, that can be transferred into through an envelope and delivered to any point. So I'm sure there'll be many exciting and new developments to follow with this this technology that is now present and ready for each and every person who's able, who would like to experience this. And I've been going out and speaking in and around the area that I'm present in, and sometimes I have to try and describe to people very quickly. They ask me about the technology and what is it and what does it do, and so I have to explain plasma in a very short period of time. It's like this when you go into, sometimes they call it going the elevator talk, where you've got sort of 20 or 30 seconds to explain what you do. And I just quickly relate to them that they have this plasmatic condition within inside themselves, and they soul travel every evening. And we are now bringing forward technologies that touch the very essence of magnetical and gravitational fields, like the interaction between the Earth and the Sun. And we are bringing this forward now for mankind to experience a new way and an old way of traveling across and experiencing much more than mankind has been experiencing in this present moment. So as I've just said earlier on, I'm sure that this technology will grow and grow and grow, and there are many beautiful developments that will be coming forward very, very shortly. So I think that's some sort of testimonial, Rick. I don't know if that would that be okay for now?
You bet. Yeah, that's lovely, Dean. You're right there in the front lines, you could say, of the action. So thank you for the report from right from the peace zone there. Yeah,
definitely a peace zone. It's quite an incredible field strength. And one thing I will say, when you're there, some interactions are so amplified. The smallest little thought and intention, and I've noticed the matter state reaction is getting quicker and quicker. I've noticed my interactions when I go out into the environment that I'm in. I think something, and the interaction, when you're aware of it, if you're sort of slightly tuned into it or tap into it, happens sometimes instantaneously. Sometimes it takes a little bit longer, but there's an interaction that is very direct, and it's happening all over, and it's just being aware of it. And I think that, in fact, I know that this is becoming more and more. And I haven't physically gone into the system as such yet. I have been present outside. However, I've felt the souls in there in a different way. They've gone off into they're the captain of their own flight, and they've gone off into their dimensions. However, the field strength within the presence of the souls interacting around and within the system, you sense it. And many people that have even just walked into the building have explained that they feel a very beautiful field interaction. So with all the technologies and all the GANSes and all the other technologies that are present, they experience it from the moment they walk in the door, and others, some say they do not. For me, it's the same as I explained earlier on. It's that I think we all experience it. It's just dependent upon whether we, as a physical body, would like to experience it and would like to be able to move to another position. And some of us are present, would like to, and some of us in our physical bodies have other interactions that we need to experience. So it's different for everybody. However, many souls that I've seen there have so much. It's such a beautiful environment, and it's quite incredible how quickly that when you receive those energies, and then you speak to another soul. So when you just speak the words, look them in the eye and speak the words, you can see the interactions of the souls receiving the field strength very, very quickly. Again, at the weekend, I was speaking to some people, and I had some interactions. I just looked some people directly in the eye and made contact with you see these portals, these galaxies of their eyes, and you make this deep connection, and then you give to them in a very specific way. And you can see that they are receiving this energy, and you see the same look in their eyes. So the interactions are becoming more and more, and as each person receives this, it's like one light bulb going off and then the other light bulb going off, and it's just a constant flow. And you can see all this wonderful interactions happening constantly. And for me, it's a very exciting and intense, inspiring and beautiful moment. And the work that Mr. Kesh has put forward with these units that are, for me, beyond words and beyond the capabilities of a human being. These have such beauty in them, and such knowledge of the universal condition, that it is for anybody that has a chance to come, please come. You're warmly invited, and I know it will touch you in so many ways that it will bring about a wonderful balance and a wonderful feeling of joy within inside yourself. Okay, thank you, Rick. Thank you for listening to this.
Yeah, excellent, Dean. I think that's the crux of it in a nutshell, as they say. Like, basically, what you're talking about is your own awakening process. In a way, you're now aware of the fields. You're sensing the presence and fields of others, and you have awakened yourself, at least at maybe you're not fully awake all the time, 24/7, 365 or whatever, but at least in this situation, in the conditions you're in, you're obviously sensitive to the environment and have awakened your own physicality to the point where you're aware of subtle thoughts and how they affect the environment and those around you and yourself and so on. And that's a very big thing. And the idea that you brought up, that thoughts can be manifest immediately, that's instant manifestation, basically. And that's very potent. And once you learn that, then it's important. It becomes more important, I guess, to be aware of one's thoughts and to be careful of one's thoughts, because, thinking badly of someone, for example, maybe that will go out and reach them immediately and affect them and so on. So we have to be careful what we think about, because we might just manifest it.
Yeah, what you just said there, Rick, is as you said, you're opening up the very essence of it. And so when we awaken to this, we realize this, this field interaction. I've been around the foundation for some time now, and being very close to these systems, I've realized how important what you've just said is. And so this is, as you said, an awakening for myself. However, for each and every person listening to this right now, it's exactly the same. So with our thoughts and intentions, when you get closer to the core, as we know, we get this amplification, this by order of magnitude, the filtration, the interaction of the fields grows as you get closer to the core. However, when you are further away, you still have the same interaction and you still have the same process going on. So it makes me aware of how important our thoughts and our actions and our words are in this present moment within every interaction we have. When we have a thought and it comes to us, it's very easy to take that thought and then let it be part of you, and to start to have a communication with it. And that interaction is then, from my understanding, what I'm experiencing and what I've experienced being close to this unit is it's manifesting. It seems to be quicker. However, being away from it and not being close to the units, it's the same. And so it's the same for all of us. These thoughts and intentions, when if we have a thought that we communicate with, if it's a thought that's slightly of a nature that's not helping, or it's, as you say, thinking bad of somebody or of a situation, then if we just stop the communication and just bring ourselves back to a position of where we're just being still within inside ourselves and just let that communication go, and then rebalance and bring our thoughts gently back to something that would help, would help people, would help another person. So instead of thinking badly of someone, if you was to change the thought pattern to, instead of taking energy from this person by thinking badly of them, to flip it and give them a big hug, and to give them energy that that you have, and say, I love you, and I thank you for everything you do, and all interactions, whether they seem good or bad, are is an energy transfer. And so if we have thoughts to give to somebody else, then the energy transfer is completely different, and we are then creating fields that resonate within the ethos of the foundation, the ethos of humanity, and the ethos of the universal community. And this is part of the process of what is taking place in Linz, and will be around the world, so that we do join the universal community, and we are part of a growing, expanding presence in this very moment. So yeah, thank you, Rick. You're very correct in what you said there. Sorry, I didn't mean to expand on it quite that much.
No,
but,
that's what I wanted you to do. That's exactly what I wanted you to do. So thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
One other thing I'd like you to expand on a little bit is this. You mentioned this as part of your testimonial, the tingly feeling, and
Yeah.
you said that several times, but you couldn't really explain it more. But I'm asking you now to explain it more, because I think it's important. I think it's perhaps it could be like an indicator of a higher emotional state, or an elevation of one's feelings, let's say, of sensation and so on. It's a certain kind of excitement, you could say. But explain more about it. What about this tingly feeling? When does it happen? What does it feel like, really?
Okay,
what do you think it's? Go ahead.
Okay, good question, Rick. So it happens when you're not expecting it, and sometimes just talking to somebody, and then you just relax and you speak, and then all of a sudden you get this interaction that sometimes I sense it in my hands and around my fingers or something, or sometimes it's the whole of my body, and sometimes it's just a part of my body, another part of my body, a bit like goosebumps. When people have they will say, when when someone's present or something, you get like goosebumps, or something's been said. This soul interaction that the soul knows, and the physical sensations are then transmitted through the field strength of the soul into the body, and you get these hairs on the back of your neck. And this isn't a fear thing, this isn't a beauty thing, nothing to do with fear whatsoever. This is all to do with the real essence of creation. And so it's a manifestation, it's a feeling, the tingly feeling of it's hard to describe. It's like sunlight. It's like golden glitter. It's like a sensation of it's a wonderful sensation that just sort of gently ripples through your body, and sends sensations into the structure of your skin that seems to sense this this field strength, this beauty that's being spoken, or this interaction that's happening. So for me, it's like a radiant sun that suddenly has an interaction with another environment, and it creates this rubbing together of the fields. And so I suppose for me it would be the same on my interactions, on this tingly feeling would be what I experience when my soul and the other soul touch, communicate, and then the physical body responds like a magnet, has no other option other than to respond in the matter state, in my physical body. And it's sometimes it's almost difficult to describe in words. It's just a magnificent feeling. And as I said, I've not been in the system. However, I sense, I've felt my soul, or my soul has interacted and sent this field strength into my body. And I know many knowledge seekers have experienced this all over the world with these plasmatic conditions of making the various ganses, of interacting with the technologies in the devices and the tools that they've produced through the knowledge. And I'm sure that many knowledge seekers have had this tingling sensation, this direct connection with other souls, when the thought and the viewpoint matches. And then I suppose it could be like when we have a healing process with the ganses, when we have a physical imbalance in our body, and we gently put a patch on, you know, one larger patch and a smaller patch, and we get this energy transfer, this balancing of the fields. And I suppose it for many knowledge seekers, many people, many souls present, it would be the same situation where you get this. You may not feel it as intensely as a tingling, but some people do. Again, at the weekend, I had some people that who've had some fairly major body imbalances, and I just gave them some ganses to hold. And some people have some very big reactions. Other people say, no, don't feel much. And I said, great, you're very balanced, you don't require this. And there's some others have some very significant feeling just by holding some of the GANs in a container. So for me, that tingling sensation is that soul aspect, and it's the same when you, as I've just explained with the GANs, it's the same thing. It's that interaction of the matter state through the emotion and the contact of the soul, the interaction of the plasmatic condition that is bringing about this wonderful balance and this touching of the souls. And it's just, for me, that is the tingly sensation. And I suppose, Rick, I would, myself and many others, I can't speak for many others, but however I sense they may feel the same. This tingling sensation that we've all experienced as knowledge seekers as soon as we come in contact with Mr. Kesh, the foundation, the beautiful knowledge seekers, and the interactions we come to know are present, and this knowledge gives us this tingling sensation for all of us, I think. Does that explain it? I don't know.
I think you explained it very well, actually. And that was my next question, which you just answered, which is this a universal kind of feeling or sensation, I guess you would say, that we feel in our physicality when there is that soul connection, or we open ourselves up, let's say, to the higher dimensions? Is that sort of an indicator or a symptom that happens, this tingling, when we enter into a higher realm like that? And it seems like it may be, and different people may experience it differently, but it's almost a vibration The tingling, you could think of it as a vibration or a resonance as well. If you're resonating with some other being, then perhaps that's that tingliness that we feel. I know that I also experienced that, and I think that it might be a somewhat universal symptom of that awakening process, let's say. If you think about it, when one of your limbs falls asleep, maybe your leg or your arm, and your arm is asleep, you get what's called pins and needles as it starts to, awaken again. Maybe it fell asleep on your arm and it cut off the circulation a bit, and it gets that pins and needles feeling as it comes back to life again. And that's kind of a tingly feeling as well. So perhaps that tingliness is like our physicality and soul coming back to life in a way.
Yeah, that's a good way to describe it, Rick. So and then that leads on to a thought of that space gap. So the interaction of the plasmatic condition of the fields, magnetic and gravitational fields, we can explain it as, and then we have this space gap, and then we sense the tingling. So that the interaction is the energy flow is happened in the moment, and the body has responded slightly afterwards. However, the interaction on the plasmatic side is instant, and then as this radiates out from the core, we sense it in our body structure as this tingling sensation that as I said, it's slightly afterwards, because that's in the physical form. So it's instant, but then, as I say, in the matter state, as in our physical bodies, we sense it in a slightly delayed sense. Even though it may seem fairly instant, the space gap is there, and this is where the energy flows. And thank you, Rick. I think you explained that well there.
I was wondering if Andreas might have had any similar sensations in his experience in the system. Can you say anything about that?
Yeah.
Pardon me?
Is Andreas present, Rick?
Yes, he is. I was wondering if he would be.
Yeah, it'd
so,
be nice.
Hello to everyone.
Hi, Andreas. Don't mean to put you on the spot, but I will.
I'm translating here into German. And,
okay.
Yeah, easy. I can speak in English, but I would like to share also something what we do in the public meetings. Is it possible to share the screen?
Yes, sure. You want to share a video or just what do you like?
No, just the German-speaking YouTube channel.
Okay.
And now you can see
yeah.
it, or?
Yes.
Yeah, I want to start here and also say a little bit about the German-speaking community. This is our Cash Foundation Deutsch YouTube channel, and it's especially for those who watch the testimonial meeting and speak German. And yeah, Mario Kienapel, for example, does since a long time the summaries of the knowledge seeker workshops. I believe he does it since already 300 knowledge seeker workshops. And he makes every Friday a summary of the knowledge seeker workshop, but also he makes the simultaneous translation at the same time like the knowledge seeker workshop. And this you can find here on this YouTube channel in German. I started 1 year ago to be part of different teachings, like at the Portuguese knowledge seeker meeting with Danilo and Jalal and Verni, or at the Spanish knowledge seeker workshop, or at the One Nation, for example. Yeah, and these are only German translations, but what we also started already 8 months ago and 9 months ago, we have our own German-speaking knowledge seeker workshop. Like you can see here, the 318th. This is in German and English, as other languages do. And as there had been a lot of course, German-speaking people in the flight enhancement experience, we made then the last 2 German-speaking knowledge seeker workshops also just about the experiences, because not only I, but we all know, I believe, everyone who is in there is at the moment a great teacher with the field strength, like Dean said, the shining in the eyes, the field strength. Also what you observe when you speak with other people. And that's why we make also testimonial German-speaking knowledge seeker workshops. So it's on Tuesday at 7:30 p.m. Central European Time if you want to be part. And there are not only German-speaking people, there are also international people, like Stefania comes sometimes, or whoever. That's a short report from the German-speaking community.
Hey, can you post the link to that YouTube channel into the chat here? That'd be great.
Yes.
I think you missed part of it there. I'm not sure if the videos part. Oh, I see. That'll take you to the main channel. Yeah. Let's make sure that works. Yep. Okay, great. I'll post that also in the live stream.
Thank you. So the screen sharing should be stopped now. I have just to look that I don't press the wrong button, because I'm in the other meeting room too, where I make the translation. I have to be careful. But
yes.
It runs.
Watch the buttons.
Yeah, and I had been, I believe, 5 times in Linz. The first time last year in the conference, the 2 days, and then all 3 months, something like that. And it was like Mr. Cash said, you can come to the center and see the developments. And for me, it's not about seeing new units. It's what was every time that I think from my own, the field is increasing there. Like also Dean said, everyone who comes to the building leaves there something. And you feel it, that these interactions get more and more different feelings, different lights maybe. I don't see lights that much. Others say they can see the souls of the lights. I have seen lights too, but it's not like a light like we see it from the light. We know it in physicality. It's more a feeling. Yeah, I had been a long time. I had been 2 times in the flight experience, and the first time was very short. I was very fast, and I come to a helpless feeling. I also already explained it in the One Nation. I don't know if I should explain it detailed again. But shortly said, I came through seed number 1, 2, and 3, and every seed I was thinking more and more, is the system not working? And in the third seed, it began that I thought, am I not working? Make I something wrong? And then in the flight unit, then I ended up by myself, totally helpless. I'm not able to do something. I am helpless. I am desperate. And it was really a horrible feeling there. And I knew the souls are present, or Mr. Cash. And I knew also that I cannot describe it, but there are many souls present. And I felt really a shame in there. When Mr. Cash asked me if I want to travel, I said yes, but I wanted more to run away from my thoughts, what I had from this helpless feeling, and maybe from this poor pity me. And then I traveled also to the Mars or to the moon, but my thoughts were blocking me. And again, this helpless feeling came, and it was then I sit in there and I was so ashamed from myself. I saw such a ugly is maybe not the right word, but aside from myself, I could just cry. It was so ugly and I was so poor in there. Yeah, and then I should have gone into the second flight system, but somehow somebody else was in there and I thought I want to go out. And then I went back, seat 3, 2, and 1, and in the second seat I opened the first time my eyes really, and this was just great. This helped me there this time very much, because I felt coming to earth again from the space in myself, or a mixture between the space of myself and the outside space. Yeah, and when I came outside, Mr. Cash asked, what have you experienced? And I don't know if it was the first thing, but one of the first things, I feel so ashamed, Mr. Cash. I could cry. And really, I felt like that. I felt so ashamed from myself. Yeah, and he said then, do you will come again? And I said instantly yes. Even I had troubles the following days to have no fear anymore from myself. Or when I drove home, for example, I had really the question, do I want to live anymore? Because that what I have seen from myself seemed to be something what I never can solve, which was really too much. And yeah, when I drove home, I thought about, and suddenly I came to the point. I also said to Mr. Cash, I know this feeling since a long time. I knew that when he asked me, or I said it straight ahead without thinking about it. I know this feeling since a long time. Yeah, and in the car when I drove home, I realized that this was a main feeling or a main emotion what I had when I had suicide tries, and which started, that I don't know exactly where, but which started in the youth age and was till today a feeling what I have inside me. And today I remember Mr. Cash when he told one time that the people or humans, when they have problems or traumas or something like that, then they build, how should I say, artificial emotion structure around this trauma, for example, or around this negative emotion or depression or whatever. And it seems to be covered or to be solved. But if you dig deep into yourself, it's not solved. Yeah, and as hard the first days have been, already at the second day, my family is a big topic, the main topic in this thing. And on the second day, when I don't wanted to drive home to my mother, where I live in the house, I haven't know why at this moment, but I just don't wanted to sleep there. And I drove to my girlfriend and slept there. And next day, I drove then to my mother. And I cannot remember anymore, but there I first time realized when I saw these things which are blocking me clearly or which are inside me since a long time, then I experienced suddenly the whole flight experience. Then I realized how the first seats worked or what happened in the flight system and how it's after working. And yeah, and then this endless love came to me, and I realized that if I have negative thoughts, that I can transmute them or change them into positive thoughts in different situations, and every situations are different and have their own field strength. I mean, there are similar ones, but there are different, how should I say, approaches where different emotions in you are triggered. And then there are also different approaches how you can transmute this emotion and thought structure into a positive structure. And I realized then faster and faster how I can transmute that I feel like I'm in the system, or that I can feel this unconditional love. And yeah, it's hard to describe, but the answer is every time for all these problems, this unconditional love. Yeah, and I had then in there for a second time. The second time I was much more clearer in my head. I had clearer wishes. And since the first seat or the third seat, I had two main wishes for handicapped people or for people who are in difficult life situations, or for drug addicted people, because I had been also in a way of this situations. And I went then from these main wishes to different situations where a lot of people are in such situations, and I just gave them hope and the understanding that it can be solved, because a lot of people cannot see this beauty anymore because they are too deep in their problems, and so they cannot come out of this. And yeah, I felt these different situations and the emotions to it, and on the other side also the beauty, what I understand. And the more I went through, I don't know, a lot of never something same, every time something a little bit different field strength. I never had the same thoughts, and I just gave in different situations. And with this, the luck and the joy in myself got more and more and more and more. And when I think afterwards about it, I experienced there a lot of different field strength of joy or love or luck. But on the other side, when you come then to the field strength, then there are no names anymore. There are other categories more than we have as words. But I don't know exactly. But for the first time, I know for myself, it's like that somehow. And yeah, then in the third seat, I was finished. And I thought, like Stefania, okay, now not party, but now I'm finished, and now I will just look where the travel goes to. But somehow I tried to bring a piece of the Apollo or just of a wreck of a physical spaceship from the moon or whatever with me. And I saw this, but not fully clear, but I felt it more. I really felt it and the soul of it. And then I asked, how can I bring it home? And but I haven't got really an answer. Mr. Cash said then to me, why haven't you give it in your pocket? Just keep it in your pocket and bring it home. Yeah, but that was a little bit too easy said for me. And I had then also again wishes and giving which came to my mind, but my head got emptier and emptier, and then it was like I sit in an empty room, an empty space, and it was like maybe as everything is balanced, in the afterwards, I think in this empty room, every creation is possible. And I ask myself till now, what do I want to create? I haven't found an answer till now. Yeah, and then I went out of the system. There had been so many things in there, so many, every thought is a trip to somewhere. Every thought brings you to other pictures, to other emotions, to other field strength, to other lights. And one time in the middle where the 4 seats are between the 2 flight units, there are 4 seats, and I changed then the seats, and I thought myself, yeah, just try and observe what's happening. And after the time I realized that there are different, like I said already before, different field strength of joy or luck or being satisfied. And it's a little bit different, like our words and categorization is. There are much more field strength than words to describe it. Yeah, and there suddenly, I don't know how I came to that, but suddenly there was a beautiful, warm, soft, but powerful, shining field strength where I thought myself, is that the creator? And at this moment, I had not much in my head. Like I said, I was very empty, and I was just thankful and satisfied and happy and all together maybe on the same level. Yeah, and yeah, there, for example, then I took the chance to ask if the whole humanity can be elevated, or all souls in existence, because it was the field strength of the Creator, I believe. And yeah, that's what we learned, that we don't ask for a few people, we ask every time for the whole humanity or all souls in existence, because the universe can provide everyone and not only a few people. Yeah. And then I went out and see 3, 2, 1, and I just haven't stressed myself the whole second experience. And also there, I was, I don't know, 2 or 3 hours in there because new people came in and I was not able to go the way out over seats 3, 2, and 1. And then there are 2 people just sit in the first chairs and haven't moved to the flight unit. And so it was not possible to go out. And I don't know if it's a failure if you go not through the first 3 seats out. If you just go out, I don't know. But it was like I have this time haven't realized something when I went out. The first time I felt I came to Earth again. This time when I drove home, I feel the same field strength. And this is a point for me, holding the field strength. You are, as soon as you come in the physical environment, or I mean, everything is on soul level and on the emotion and physicality. But you know, the people who have no awareness of this, they are different, and maybe I'm weak, but I let myself pull myself down. And I have also to say, it's difficult to stay in this field strength. And yeah, I'm training to, I believe the most easy thing is just to be and not think too much about it, just being, and yeah, that's it. Yeah, and so I'm observing and trying to remember this field strength, this experience. Sometimes it goes from alone, sometimes it seems to be away. And I'm interested what I or everyone else will experience. And what's totally important is too, like Dean already said, the plasma is expanding and expanding and expanding. And everyone who goes out there or makes interviews or speaks and help is elevating the others too and gives from his field strength. And also this is part of the expanding, and yeah, there's the trust that everything is good, especially on soul level, there's everything good and in peace. And yeah, the physicality will follow, and we all, the humanity and much more, will experience such a beauty. And that's the whole beauty about us all here, the Cash Foundation and Mr. Cash. I think that's all what I can say now. Do you have any questions?
Well, that was a very intense testimonial. That's for sure, and quite an experience that you've had. So what about the tingly feeling? Did you get any tingly feeling? That was my original question, actually.
Tingly feeling.
Like when you have these realizations and your experiences in the system and so on, was there sensations that you felt that were similar
Well,
to tingling or some sort of excitement in the physicality, let's say?
tingling, not really. And the people make really different experiences. At some, they cannot see their feet anymore. And others see lights, others feel the fields in which directions they go. And I had from everything a little bit. And I also experienced a little bit that the soul is expanding over the body. The first time, nothing. The second time, yes. But then, for me, that was not so important, is if the soul is expanding or not. And maybe that's why I haven't paid to that much attention. And that's why I haven't experienced it really. And that's, everyone is their own captain, where your thoughts guide you to there what you want to experience. And it happens from alone. And there, what was really special, it's the shining of the people when they came out. And I also had been, before my first time, at 2 people who had been in there, and I came to them, I slept at their place, and I felt the whole evening so beautiful. And you recognized that they had been in the system, it changed them, it gave them such a peace and field strength. And the beauty is everyone who comes out is shining in a different way. There are people who are so shining, you can look at them the whole day because the shining is so beautiful, the eyes, the smiling, the speaking, the emotion. And not only, if you meet Dean there, you see he's shining too. And he helps there if somebody has questions. He makes interviews and he helps out of his position and he serves. And you see how this is also makes him shining, and it's beautiful for everyone who works there. And I believe that's the reason from all of us that we want to share this beauty with everyone. And this sharing makes rich. And so everyone who is working there is also shining. And also, like Dean said, we know this already. When you come out, then it's not something, it's of course overwhelming, but it's not something total new. We already know this, but we have never been taught to look at these things or to be aware of it. And that's the whole process where we go through the nano ganses, devices and so on, that we just get aware of what we are again somehow. Yeah.
Andreas, it's Dean here. Thank you very much, Andreas, for that beautiful testimonial. And that's one thing I'd like to for you to now say is you're going to translate this all into German. The German community are waiting for you. You're going to remember it all.
I said that already in German, that you said that I should translate now. I mean, you ask. I have already given in the German-speaking knowledge seeker workshop a testimonial. Yeah, and we speak with different people and groups about it. Yeah, and the beauty is also to communicate between each other, because you cannot remember everything and tell everything, because this travel is so huge, endless. And when you share and listen to others, you can add to it, and everyone brings everyone forward.
Yeah, that's beautiful, Andreas. So, Andreas, just so I can ask you a couple of little questions then. So, when you said it was endless. So when you were in the system, describe how you feel, how you sensed endless. So just give us a brief description of how it felt for this endless feeling.
For me, my travel was my travel because of my thoughts, which brings me to there where I should be. And that's for everyone the same, individually. Everyone is his own captain. But you can have every thought in existence, and that's what I mean with it's endless. You can make there so many journeys, and it will take endless time to go through all these journeys. Or maybe not, I don't know.
Thank you, Andreas. And so, Andreas, you shared that experience, as Rick said, and it's very profound, deep experience, and it's very honest of you and very beautiful of you to share when you said in your physical body, or in your sense that for you there was something that an imbalance that you felt wasn't correct for you. How is that process? Is that experience that you went through when you touched, when your soul was touched and your physicality was touched by this experience? Do you now sense a healing, a different field strength within your structure? Now you've come back and had some moments to absorb and be part of the environment that you're present in right now.
Definitely, yes. The different people come to me totally different from alone. I don't have to think myself, be friendly, and the friendliness comes back. It goes from alone. I don't know how to say. It changed really much, but as I also said, it's not over with this feeling. I have to work with it. I live now since a long time and have this since a long time in myself. And as Mr. Cash said, when I had been there, work with yourself. And I really have to do it. The last days were hard for me because I really lost the connection, and then I got desperate again, and in a different way, because I know this solution is here. That there's more trust than before, and but also I can continue running away. from different things what I have to solve. It's also I'm every day in contact, or not every day, but in contact with different people out of my environment, or with thoughts about my environment. And yeah, it's a daily training and doing to transform it. And the best thing is if you just can give, because then you receive nothing else. If you are angry or if negative emotions, but there is a support from these fields. And whenever you come to not giving up, or when you want to change something to the better of all, then you get help. Yeah, and but there is a lot to do, but it's difficult to explain. I have also to make decisions in my life, and maybe this is a good point that I see that too, and maybe it's a necessary point. It's not an easy situation, but it's not impossible to find a way which is good.
Andreas, thank you for that. So do you sense when you were present, having your experience, you sensed other souls around you, or was the sense this endless feeling of everything being connected, or did you sense individual souls, or your soul, or the totality of souls?
Oh, difficult question, but when you come into the building, and when we met us, for example, your soul strives me, is that the right word, or touches me, and you go in there with me, or maybe I have a thought about you and the feeling in there, because our souls touched us before. And that's why I remember it in the system. Or when I thought about so many people here only in this meeting, and just gave or said thank you for what you are doing or whatever, there is this contact too. And but when there are this field strength, this different, then it's hard for me to. There was a field strength when I thought, is that the joy of Stefania? Because we had been eating together, and there was a feeling there. I really thought, wow, is that Stefania? Is that her joy, or is that her soul? Yeah, and there are many souls, but that's for me. It was hard to find out who is who. I hope that was an answer.
No, thank you, Andreas. That's a great answer. Absolutely, yeah, wonderful. So, another question would be: you say you spoke about one soul, and that's the soul that and the physicality that you had a meal with, and you experienced some interactions. Are there other souls present that maybe you sense that you've not met in physicality? Did you sense this?
If you mean, I know here a lot of people where I know only the voice and pictures how somebody looks. This one, yes, I feel, but that's not, for that you don't have to be in the units. But when I've nobody seen, I don't know a name from somebody, I just feel something there. I have not asked, for example, I have asked, but I have not got an answer. Which soul at the moment do I feel? It was just the creator where I thought myself, is that the field strength of the creator? Or that is the joy from Stefania, what I'm feeling now. Or Mr. Cash, I could feel Mr. Cash very much. How when I was at home, how he loves it to give. That was a feeling, his whole love for everyone and for what is going on there, just because he knows what everyone is feeling or experiencing. This unconditional love. I have every time a smile from him somehow in my thoughts, because he says, if you would know how beautiful it's there, then all would commit suicide. And I know somehow I felt this feeling of Mr. Cash, how he just loves it to show that, to share that. Yeah.
Wonderful, Andreas. Yeah, that touches the essence of it. So you mentioned Mr. Kesh there. Mr. Kesh is such an incredible soul that's present in each and every moment with all of us. And I can give a little testimonial here, something slightly different. I'm sure Mr. Kesh will be okay with this. So I took a picture of Mr. Kesh once as a photographer, and I did it with a camera that's a higher resolution, and I took a picture of him. And as a photographer, we sometimes go in and we look closer in detail. And I went in closer and went into the aspect of Mr. Kesh's face, and then I went into Mr. Kesh's eye, and then I went into Mr. Kesh's pupil. And when I looked into Mr. Kesh's pupil, I was expecting to see this pupil, and all I saw was stars. It was like another galaxy, but there wasn't a blackness. There was just like, it was different. And I've been a photographer for many years, and I've looked into many, many, many souls through their eyes, and looked at, in the physical bodies, and taken many, many pictures of many, many faces and many eyes, and looked closely at them. And Mr. Kesh's eye was not anything that I've experienced before. And so it was, for me, it was another confirmation, another beauty of the aspect and the understanding of this incredible presence of Mr. Kesh and everything that he's doing for humanity that is extraordinary and beyond expectations and words of mankind. And yeah, I don't know why, Andreas, but you suddenly opened up something there that I don't know why I needed to express that, but however it came out. So yeah, so thank you for that, Andreas. Thank you, Mr. Kesh, and thank you everybody else.
Well, we're getting some interesting testimonials here today, that's for sure.
Yeah, we are, Rick. Sorry. Okay.
Well, that's great. Great, guys. Thank you very much, both of you, for opening up and sharing, you know, some pretty deep personal experiences that you're opening up to the entire universe here, basically, for forever. Besides,
Forever, yeah. That deep connection, Rick, that you are present with in each and every moment. And the field strength that you've gathered through the interactions, like yourself and Mark and many others, Jalal and Alex, and all the wonderful souls that have done so much for the foundation. That universal aspect is just deepening and becoming, as Andreas said, that the journey is millionfold, and there's so many different ways you can interact and respond and go to. It's unlimited. And we could go on for eternity as we do. Thank you, Rick.
well, that's true. And the limitations are simply our own limitations. Whatever we limit ourselves to is what we get. So if we want the totality, it takes a lot to be able to handle the totality. And most of us freak out when we are exposed to a new sensation or a new experience, and let alone the whole totality of experience. So it's a gradual opening and elevation process, and it seems to be a never-ending process in a way. Because what if you got totally elevated and you finally made it to the top? Then it's time to start again and do it all over again. So there's opportunity, always an opportunity to evolve and to elevate.
Yeah, wonderful, Rick. Yeah, great explanation. Yeah, so it's that endless flow, that infinity loop, that torus, that field strength, and that flow. The beginning of one cycle, and completing the cycle and going into the next cycle of creation. And as Mr. Kess explains in many of the intros, when the cycle of creation is correct, and the process, the thoughts, intentions, and the interactions you have match, and everything, you're creating galaxies and stars and interactions, universes that are just going to bring about another endless cycle of absolute incredible beauty. And that's so much knowledge. It's beyond words, beyond even my comprehension in this as I speak in these words in this very moment. Yeah. Thank you, Rick. Thank you.
Well, hopefully others can also benefit from the words in terms of their own experience, and have at least an inkling that there is something more than our physicality offers us, let's say. And for some people, that's really important to touch on that spiritual soul basis. And it could keep someone from wanting to leave this life, because it can be pretty harsh on this planet if you were to look at it in terms of just the physicality or the from the physical level. There's a lot of suffering, and there's a lot of beauty, but there's also inevitably a lot of suffering that goes along with it, depending on various levels that people experience. But on the spiritual and soul level, if you can connect with that, even in the worst war zone, you will find a way through it that will be an elevating experience rather than a depleting experience, let's say, and where you can still be of service. In fact, in a war zone is probably the best opportunity to be of service to others and to expand your awareness and your ability to have skills and so on in the multi-dimensional realms, not just in physicality.
Yeah, wonderful, Rick. It's that what you just touched on something there that's I think from listening and reading the experiences people have had when they've been in these situations. Some people become very elevated and respond in a totally different way. They suddenly realize and they have this field strength that emanates from them and creates something within their physical structure that turns them into more than they would be in real terms, whether that's adrenaline, whether that's a field strength of emotions, whether that's the soul interaction. But they experience this environment totally differently, and they interact and give to the situation to deplete the energy from the situation and expand out, that creates wonderment and beauty as they change their environment with their intentions. And when a physical being understands that and starts to respond like that and has that tingling sensation or that's or not within their structure, and then they decide to act in a different way, to realize a realization of the environment they're in is behaving in a certain way that hasn't got a field strength that matches theirs in that precise moment. And so they consciously from the core expand out, and this field strength of beauty just emanates from them and creates a new environment where the souls are touched and the environment changes into a giving situation instead of just taking. And that's for me, when you listen, you hear about souls that start receiving this in the harshest of environments, is a beauty, and it really makes me and sort of understand the conscious understanding and the beauty of a soul that responds to the physicality and opens up field strength and doors for this soul to walk through and change the environment that they are physically in that moment, just with an intention, with a thought. So important and such a wonderful thing.
Mm-hmm. It's easy to create peace in a peace zone, but the ultimate test is, can we create peace in a war zone? Can you be a peaceful mediator in an argument that breaks out on the street or something? Or are you going to go in and, with fists flying and make the situation worse in a way? And there's, different ways to approach that whole idea. And there are people that create their own peace zone wherever they go, basically. And we can all learn to do that by our thoughts and their intentions, like you're mentioning, which are so important.
Yeah, absolutely, Rick. Absolutely. Yeah. Thank you, Rick. That wonderful explanation. That's exactly it for each and every one of us. As we look at this picture now, and we see these beautiful souls present, and we see this we see the unit behind, which is the materials unit. So it has the ability to create materials from the interaction of the fields, and so it's the same for the interaction of the thought process when we're in this conflict. We can create the matter state of something that is a tool of a weapon, or a thought that's a weapon, just in a thought within our physical structure that can become a weapon. And we can flip this into a thought of no, it's now something totally different that is there to protect and caress and give, and no matter the structure or the opponent in front of us, we suddenly realize that it's not this destructive action. It can be changed in an instant, and when the soul interacts, that instant that very moment, that as soon as the thought reaches the matter state, the whole environment can change just with a thought. And that, I think that's would be a beautiful thing if many people come to experience this, and I'm sure they have. I know this feels strength emanating from the center and from all the knowledge seekers, and everything within the foundation is bringing about this complete change within with all creatures and the whole of the planet. And this shining is, as Andreas said, is starting to expand out, and many souls are starting to sense it, and this shining, this wonderful feeling, that sense of being connected and being peaceful is becoming more and more apparent as we experience this moment.
Okay, thank you, Dean. We've got a couple of hands up here I'd like to acknowledge now. Imgard, you've mentioned you have something you'd like to share. Would you like to go ahead, please?
I haven't shared it in this context, but I've shared it with smaller groups. And there were actually two things. The first, I want to say, when I listen to these testimonials, I just seem to go right along. I sort of go on a trip myself. And what happened the one time after I listened, I was going where I had planned to visit if I was making it to Linz. I was going to invite my sister, and the two of us, we were going to visit with my parents. And so in a, let's call it a waking dream or something, it wasn't really a dream, it was right after one of those testimonials, I had this experience of being surrounded by my mother's love. I didn't see my mother in person. What happened was I felt the love that was surrounding me. It was like velvety, and it's kind of like as if I was as a little child sitting on her lap. And the feeling I got was one of absolute total security and love. And my sister was there, but she was a little ways away. She wasn't directly involved in this particular interaction, but it was like gold and velvety and a little bit warm and just totally safe. That was the first experience. Then another experience I had, but that was during a dream, actual dream. But the dream was different from normal. I don't usually remember things very much, but this one was very, very clear and distinct. And what happened, I went to see Mr. Putin, and I shared with him. And the interesting thing was just like what Mr. Kesh said, don't have to know the language. I don't speak Russian. But I told him that what I wished for him was wisdom. And he just gave me a big smile of recognition, and that was it. That was a dream in my sleep, and that was the end of the dream. So that's what I have to report.
Oh, good one. Thank you, Imgard. That's very refreshing and direct. So do you continue to kind of follow along as you describe it for other explanations that people have and so on, different testimonials?
Whenever I make it, yes. Yeah, it was just very interesting experience and different. The first one with my mother was I was just in tears. It was so moving. But the second one, it was just surprising that, that we had that encounter and that it was accepted.
And was that your intention for going into if you were in Linz, that if you were to go into the unit, what was your intention? What would where did you wish?
Was to be with my parents together with my sister.
Okay.
The other one has just sort of be an underlying intention that I wish world leaders, especially him, with all his buttons to push wisdom. And, you know, it was a loving communication. But I haven't had any since, but I'm open to going other places. That's
Okay,
all.
nice. And how long ago would that experience be?
Maybe a week.
Mhm. Okay, any,
Now,
go ahead, sorry.
what I would like to know, I have a sick dog, and I have wanted to take him along, but he's not welcome. He's too big and not well behaved. And that's actually a reason why I put down that payment for that first health unit, because it was for him and for me, for my brain, and for his many problems, and they keep getting more. So maybe I have to figure out a way to do the same trip with the two of us. Maybe if everybody helps, maybe we can do it.
Rick, is Dean here? Can I ask Immigrant a question? So Immigrant, you just explained, you said you had a thought. You had that thought, so that field strength, that intention is now there, present. And we, as knowledge seekers, as Universal Council members or support members, would give to this a field strength to this thought. And we know that when we add our intentions and the other souls present to this intention and wish to give to others, that the field strength becomes 10 to the power of thousands. And the field strength is very powerful and immense. And we know that it will be present when the souls allow, which they will.
That would be wonderful. So do you want me to send something to the Universal Council member, or just in thought?
Please send something. That would be wonderful. Then we can use it in the meeting, and we can expand upon it, and we can enhance the wish and give freely and unconditionally to it, for it to be present in the moment. And we greatly and willingly receive all communications and everything that is possible from each and every soul that would like to share an experience and to share a thought, an intention, to give back to a relative, to a community, to a nation, and to humanity, and to all the souls present in each moment. In this moment.
Even a big old grumpy dog.
A beautiful big grumpy dog will be wonderful. Absolutely.
Thank you.
And the wish can be expanded to, you know, all big grumpy dogs everywhere, or all dog beings, you know, all the souls of all animals, and that we don't always acknowledge in our wishes.
Especially those in distress.
Yeah, we usually talk about the humans on Earth, first of all, and we should be really talking about all beings everywhere. And then we often forget to include the vertical beings and the animal beings as well. So it's something that maybe we could incorporate into a special wish for the one nation, one planet, one race for world peace and justice tomorrow.
Yeah, thank you, Rick. That's wonderful. That is what you've just said there is so important. You brought, as usual, when we open a door, when we open a thought, like you just did, it expands very quickly. As I said, things are happening much quicker and growing so fast that that intention now is we've received it. We've received the field strength of it. We're now given the field strength of an intention and an action, And then when the other souls present within the council start to bring it into focus and then deliver it out once again, that this order of magnitude grows. And what Rick said is so important with all the beings present, because as humans, we speak about ourselves so much. We really do. We speak about ourselves, but there's so many souls present in the moment. There are countless trillions of souls, and if none are higher and none are lower.
Yeah, and I'm in a particular, I find myself in a particular bind. People tell me I should put him down. And here we talk about not killing.
Yeah, yeah. I can tell you my personal experience I had once with an animal. And,
I've had, okay, go ahead.
So I just quickly explain. So I went through a process where something that I found very distressing for me, that we're always told, as you've been positioned or asked by certain whoever to take this physicality. So I was in the same position with an animal once, and I couldn't do that. I just knew against my whole of my being, my soul, it didn't seem correct. And so, and I'm not, this is just me and my personal experience. It's my personal experience. And so this particular animal, and this even went against people within my family and who, in those moments, who didn't feel the same. However, it was strong for me because I had a deep connection with this animal. And I wouldn't let this, it was a cat. I wouldn't let the cat be put down. So I stayed with her and just slept with her for a week, maybe longer, and just stayed and just fed and gave ganses and gave thoughts and intentions and let the natural process go through. And for others, it was very distressing. And at times I thought, am I doing the right thing? But it just felt right to do. And I was just present. And then when the moment came when it was a natural occurrence, it happened in a very beautiful way, the way it was meant to happen. And so it was an experience that I went through, and it felt, I didn't feel an incorrect energy. I didn't feel that this deep emotion of I'd done something, or I initiated something that that then was an energy transfer that would respond back to me constantly. When I allowed this natural process to take place, the energy transfer, once it happened, I didn't have this deep remorse. I felt much more comfortable, and it felt correct on many levels for me once the process had taken position. This was my personal experience, and it's distressing and as uncomfortable it was. When you come to understand as a Universal Council member and through the knowledge of Mr. Kesh, how a soul is, and yet the physicality is a certain position, it's a celebration of life, and we let it naturally occur, and then we give unconditionally to this beautiful soul as it takes its new position. And the grieving process and the whole sense of it being a tragedy. It's not. It's a beauty. It's a process, and it's natural. And this it expands. And I'm not saying we don't. We're heartless and we don't feel and sense, because we do. We feel and sense very much in the physical form. However, the soul is released, and when it's natural, it's a process. Whether if it's an accident, fine. But other than that, no one should really take another soul, really. And this is what the technology is coming to, where we stop all of this, where we're stopping the process of taking souls in many different ways that we do. We're talking about now physically with animals, cats and dogs and things, and the position that you find yourself in, and that I've experienced.
In this situation, we're not near the end of life.
Okay.
but he has serious seizures, and also he's very aggressive against other dogs, and he got away and he bit other dogs, seriously injuring them. And I've had to pay big bills, and he's getting grumpier, but he's on medication, and these are side effects potentially.
Yeah.
But he has these serious seizures, sometimes 7 of them in a day, so, and I can't come to Linz because I can't leave him with someone else.
Yeah.
So
when you bring this wish forward, then we will give unconditionally to this beautiful soul, and we will elevate his soul. And I know with the knowledge seekers present here, and I know the beauty that they touch the soul, the physicality will respond, and I know he will feel a great sense. I've experienced it many times with human beings, where you give unconditionally from your soul, and you see it within the structure, and you see it within the beauty of them. So, and animals are, they respond in a different way. They don't have as many filters, it seems, as I don't know. This is me speaking, as my experience, but they don't seem to have as many filters as us humans. They seem to be able to, so they're responding to their environment. They're responding to something that's happened to them. And just with a little bit of enhancement and a little bit of placement of repositioning, I know this dog will become very peaceful again. And so we need to, as I say, bring this forward and present it to the Universal Council, and expand upon this to enhance this being. And like the unit in Linz, when one being goes in and one is enhanced, we're all enhanced. And this is the process that we're going through. So thank you very much for bringing this forward. That's
thank
beautiful.
you.
Thank you. Thanks, Rick.
Excellent, Dean. Yes. Okay, we have another hand up here. Perhaps we should address with Dirk.
Yeah, I have a testimonial for people who, with small money, who can afford to go to Linz for the half hour. Since I bought the Cage Foundation Gans t-shirt, I found the goal in my life, and I now know that I go straight forward. I said in the German Knowledge Seeker workshop that I'm informing the people here in Münster about the Cage Foundation and all the great opportunities we have, and that things will change to a peaceful planet. And I printed about 10,000 ID cards with the website from the Cage Foundation and the Spaceship Institute, and I give them personally to each one I meet here in Münster to inform them. I already spread about 2,000 cards, and I will spread another 8,000 I have here in my flat. And I changed mentally. For instance, I picked up someone from the street and gave him a flat here in my little room so that he can recharge and find his goal in his life. And well, I'm pretty optimistic of the future because I know what my goal is in my life and what the reason is why I'm here for. So, well, that's what I want to say.
Dirk, thank you for that. That was beautiful. And that's wonderful that you come to this feeling of wanting to give to others unconditionally and help many souls. That's the ethos of the foundation, and many of the knowledge seekers and all the people present here in this moment have come to understand that when you have this great sense of wanting to give to others, you receive a lot more back. Feel strength that expands and opens up, and how reawakening, this beauty, this feel strength just intensifies and gives into this conscious cloud of human endeavors and all the creatures present with us in this environment of the planet Earth. And this shininess that you and this beauty you've just described is enhancing and just giving back, and that's a wondrous thing. Thank you so much. Thank you.
You're welcome. Yeah, I can feel it every day that the positive feeling gets more and more intensive from day to day.
Yeah, Rick's put on screen that the
Is this the t-shirt? Is this the one you mean, Dirk? Or
yeah, that's the pullover. I got just a t-shirt with the small arms.
oh, okay, that's the other option here. Just a minute, I'll go back. This one.
Yeah, there it is. Yeah, that's the one.
an enhanced t-shirt with GAN's technologies embedded within the structure of the colors, and giving a real beauty. That I've worn this. I have one with the long sleeves when it was in the winter, when it was a little bit more chillier outside, so we needed a long sleeve one. And I remember wearing it on a certain walk that I went on with other souls interacting all around. There was quite a few people around, and many people were asking about exactly what Rick's very tuned in. So they were speaking about what was written on the back, and they liked the fact it was written in many languages. And I think it was that has a field strength, just having it present within your body, and then expanding out and for other souls in the physicality to read these words. And then this is the universal call, and this is the universal message for us all to come forward as humanity and be present with each other and join the universal community, which is the ethos and the beauty of the Universal Council and the Foundation's work in this moment.
Yeah, I live here with a lot of Muslims. I live above a moschee here in Münster, and when they read it in Arabic, they're very happy to meet me, and I'm very happy to meet them. So
That's good.
It's nice.
So it says one nation, one planet, one race, but in what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 10 or 12 languages or whatever. 2, 3, 4. Yeah, it looks like 12 languages altogether with the English. Nice.
Yeah, thanks, Rick. It's yeah, that's a wonderful wonderful garment. Yeah, it is.
It's a nice looking shirt as well. It's got sort of a sporty look to it, almost Olympic looking thing.
Yeah, it'd be nice to see some sports athletes running around wearing this and feeling the field strength and feeling the elevation and the enhancement to their bodies. And maybe we'll get some new world records taking place.
Would the high jumper elevate their height the extra few inches?
Yeah, most definitely. Yeah, reach so suddenly jump up and not come down. No,
yeah. Oh, we lost one. One of those cash ones again. She's gone.
Yeah, that would be good. Yeah, no, a wonderful t-shirt. It expresses a lot of information and a lot of it's pleasant to view and to look at, and it also I think it's hard to describe. It expands everything that we know about the foundation and the ethos, and I know that when you wear this, your soul interacts with it and interacts with the environment, and you start, as Dirk said, he was getting interactions with other people from other languages that were loving the fact that it had some of their understandings written on it. So it's connecting humanity through the languages, through the written language, as we wear it visibly in so interaction with the soul, and then interaction with the physicality and all the other souls in the physicality that are then seeing this and responding to its message of peace.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah, so it's a great garment. It is like many of the products. They're for people that that would like a product, or would like something to experience the technology. When we become students, when we become knowledge seekers, we experience this from the instant that we make the intention to be present, and we experience a field strength that suddenly I talk from my experience. I felt a presence that I knew that it was much more than just myself, and I sensed that. I sensed that from very early moments, Rick, from interactions of I didn't realize it in those moments because I was new to the information. However, I sensed it, that it was a field strength that just being present with this knowledge and interaction from the very first moment of the interaction, it's an opening up and an awakening, a blossoming, a tingling, however you want to describe it, or and it's all of those things, and it happens in an instant. And that's, I think, what many people are experiencing when they go into the units, when they go in for the flight experience. And some people say, I don't experience anything, and I have a thought that goes through me. Wow, yes, you did. You're so much more of a spectrum of energy and interaction than you could ever imagine. Just allow yourself to understand that you are unlimited, and so you've just received an unlimited amount of incredible cosmic universal energy, like when the sun and neutrinos pass through the earth. You've just received energy beyond comprehension of mankind, as we all do. Thank you, Rick.
So just showing the pants here as well, because there's a comment from Freed in the live stream. He says the spacey look of the long t-shirts and the pants. My grandson of 7 said I look like a space traveler. Somehow.
We'd like to see a picture of him in it and see this space traveler.
Yes, that would be great.
That's
wouldn't
what we
it?
need. Yeah. Come on, Fred. We need to see a nice picture of you with your pants on and your t-shirt, and see this space traveling.
Yeah, that'll be the long sleeve version, I guess, like this one.
Yeah.
Maybe next time.
Yep, maybe next time.
Which reminds me that I was hoping to get some videos of the testimonials from the space travel simulations, but they won't be available until later, so it'll have to be for the next testimonial show that we'll have some special videos that'll be unleashed, and probably for the next Knowledge Seekers workshop as well.
It's
Katya.
all in the moment.
Yeah.
Rick. Sorry. Please go ahead.
No, Katya is here and she's been through the system. She'd like to share something, I think, if you have time, Rick.
Absolutely, that would be wonderful.
Hello, can you hear me good?
Clearly, go ahead, thanks.
Oh yes, what we would you like to go to know everything on the chairs or the life after?
Well, start at the beginning and just give us an overview of your experience.
It was a completely open up from myself, I think. Oh, in every chair, I felt it like an open up from the heart, from the feet to the head. And in the unit, I received so much love. I never felt so much love on earth, but there it was overwhelming to feel this unconditional love. I can only say I could take it in my life, this love. And it had completely changed every day. Also my heart. Normally when something falls down, you say, okay, but in your heart it makes and this feeling in the heart is gone. So I never felt something like this. I don't know how to describe this feeling in this heart. And yes, what can I say? I am more in the I am, and I have more interaction, like giving from the soul. If you have no thoughts, and if you are empty, and this is more and more coming also by driving the car, it's completely new for me to be empty, and then you have a lot of time to give from the soul. It changed to the giving, the life completely. And in time, I don't remark it because it's so natural to do this. And yesterday I had a very good experience outside. I was looking at the skies and the stars. And normally some of them are very close to my house. But I see a lot of moving stars too, and I had such a joy. And like in the unit, when I was giving from my soul, I did it to these moving stars. And after, I was so excited to see so much. I had never seen so much by night in this short time. Once comes very close. Very low. It was coming in my direction, and when he was, I don't know how 4 or 10 meters or like this before me, he goes up. Just till I couldn't see him. It was so interesting, and I had such a joy and pleasure, and this feeling is every time there in the life. And I never have enjoyed my life like this since I was coming back from Linz. And this is the beautifulest beauty, I can say. And I'm more observing, and I'm not interfering. I pray more for every being, and I'm doing a lot of work from my soul to a lot of beings and beyond. Do you have any questions?
Hi, it's Dean here. Thank you for that testimony. Thank you for that, for sharing that experience.
You're welcome.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you for your beautiful soul, and thank you for being present. And it's wonderful that you say that since you come back and you had the experience, you have more joy in your physical being, in your soul, in your environment. And do you feel that when you receive this joy and when you have this happiness within you, do you sense that this then radiates out into your environment, so that it feeds the environment, so that you receive back even more? Does that make sense?
That makes sense, yes. That could absolutely be like this, because I think, like yesterday with the stars, because I radiate such a big joy and love out, it comes back.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, that's wonderful. And so when you experienced, you say, this joy since you went into the units, was this a gradual process? Was the field strength instant, or did it take it? Is it kept on building? Is it? Are you finding the filtering, or are you finding this field strength gathering momentum? Is it staying constant, or is it fluctuating, or is it, as I said, is it gradually building and building?
Building and building.
Yeah. And so with your thoughts and intentions, you can make this unlimited. You can let this expand out across the Unicos.
Yes, I think, yes, it will.
It has.
Yes, it has.
Definitely has, yeah.
It's the reflection.
Yeah, of course, of course. See, it's because you're shining. It's this wondrous moment where you're emanating and shining, and this beauty is now within. It was always within you, but now you're releasing it. Now you're the soul's coming outside of the physicality and encompassing the environment and expanding. So it's interacting in the plasmatic condition. And this is then the universal flow, and whether it's within the earth structure or outside of it, going in or going out, it's the same thing. And it's just, yeah, it's just that beauty of a core radiating out its rays, its beauty, and creating new interactions, a new cycle, and they're correct. And that's the important thing. It's because it's correct, and feels correct, and you've got that warm, tingling feeling. I mean, I'm putting words in your mouth, maybe you don't, but you have this interaction that is this star system, this star formation that is expanding, and the plasma is another cycle, another creation. Thank you very much. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Yeah, wonderful.
That was going to be my question, was about the tingles. Did you feel any tingling during your process?
Can you describe tingling?
Well, that's a tough one. Maybe we should use some other words, like what goes along with tingling, kind of
It's like an inner juice bump who's coming
yeah,
out.
the goosebumps was a good description. It's like goosebumps, but sort of inside the skin more than outside.
Yes, inside. It's inside the body coming outside. Like, yes, a little bit like that. Yes, very often, also after, because you have new fields.
Mm-hmm.
Who are growing, I think, who are discovered.
Are you sensing it in your in your physical being? Are you experiencing any interactions in your body? Is this all a sense of enjoyment and happiness within inside yourself? Are you also experiencing anything in your physical body? Do you feel enhanced, or is it exactly the same, or is there any interaction there?
Oh, I never looked at it. I cannot say it. Sometimes I feel like in the second chair that my heart soul, I feel the heart soul is surrounding the body.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
I cannot say much because it becomes normality, you know. You don't look at it again.
Yeah.
In a way, yes. But
Wonderful.
at the beginning, yes, I remarked something.
Yeah, that's beautiful. Yeah. Is there anything else just in this moment? What comes into your thoughts? What could you say right now that springs to mind in this very moment? Just.
No thoughts, only feeling, a very warm feeling in my heart and happiness in all the body.
Wow. So when this feeling of the heart being what's the right word? Being warm, beating, being caressed, being just breathing, exhausting its beauty and giving out, and this creates a heat in your physical body, or do you sense this on another level?
Also in the face.
Okay.
Like when you look to a lover at the first time and you get red like this.
Okay.
Yes, no, I'm very, it's, yes, when I look at it, it's everywhere warm. Yes, but more in the heart than in the face.
Okay. That's a new explanation. That's opened up another field and give us all an understanding. And do you sense that if somebody went into the unit with an emotion that was not in balance, do you think they would have experienced what you're experiencing?
Yes, I think. You mean the feelings where I had inside?
I
or
mean,
after?
I mean, so when you went into the unit yourself,
Yes.
did you feel emotionally balanced? Was there anything in you that was did you have any thoughts of anything that was out of balance, like an anger or anything like that, or was it just pure? Before you went in, were you very balanced and very stable and emotionally just excited to be going into the unit? So describe as some of the emotions you felt then and how you feel now.
I can only say that on the second chair, I felt a deep sadness in my heart, and I tried many years to let go this sadness, and I could let it go there. There was a balance, yes, in my heart.
And why did you feel you could let it go there? Can you explain that a little bit?
Because I had to. It was too long inside me, and I had to be pure. with a pure heart. And if you have such a deep sadness in your heart, you cannot really be pure.
And so this sadness you had in your heart, did it feel in your physical heart, or did it feel on an emotional, in your emotional heart?
In the emotional heart.
Yeah.
Yes, because after this experience, I looked with a pure heart outside. This has changed.
So do you feel your heartbeat is now in rhythm with the universe, or within the structure of the earth, and your breathing patterns and your you're corresponding to a balanced condition of being present in the moment?
Yes. I was not sure at the beginning when I came back, because it was I had to let go many things in my life. I changed the daily things. I let go the things that are not useful for me, because I felt my heart was not satisfied with this kind of behavior. So the heart had also a say.
Thank you for explaining that. And so this sadness, was this with yourself or with others, or a combination? Was it a general, life experience, or a particular moment?
Good questions. I don't know. I don't know what it was. I don't know. Perhaps, I don't know. 10 years ago, the twin sister of my daughter died. And perhaps when I look now, I feel it. I think it could be that. I was so sad. And I met her in the unit. And perhaps this was the balance also.
Yeah, thank you for that. That's usually, from my understanding of the knowledge, when we have a thought, it's instant. It's usually the correct one, and it's usually this that has brought us to a position. And so when you went to the unit, you met this beautiful soul, and you received a balance, or you gave and received, and this became this heart condition that feels overwhelming love now. So this is a very important point, I think, that for many, that we can go back to any moment that has brought us or created a condition. And we can just go back to that moment, and just with a thought, and just gently forgive ourselves and everybody else. And we can balance the condition, balance the emotion, and release the energy. And it can be as simple as a thought. And the fact that you did this within this particular environment greatly enhanced and made it the heart bloom. And for me, this is the soul aspect of the understanding. And thank you so much for sharing that. That's a beautiful. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Is there anything else you would like to ask?
Oh, a good question. Yeah, I'm open for everything. I have no question, because I think we are on the way, and everyone will enjoy these beautiful fields that where we radiates out, and also in Linz and all over the world.
Yeah, most definitely. Yeah. And do you just quickly, do you feel, do you sense, since you've been in, do you feel a connection, a bigger connection with other souls further out than just your local environment?
Without seeing them or with seeing them?
Without seeing them.
I don't know.
How does it feel?
I cannot describe it. I only have a connection with the people who I met in Leeds. This connection is very deep.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. And I don't know, the other peoples around are in their circles. And I let them in. I made a wish, and if it change, I don't know. We will see.
We will see. Yeah. Thank you for sharing that. Well, thank you so much. It's beautiful that you've got this testimonial, and it's a pleasure that to be present with you, and for you to to share openly like you just have, and it will enhance and give to many other souls, and they will receive so much from you that you will receive much more back, and your heart will be even more happy. Thank you so much.
Oh, beautiful. Yes, but when you tell it, I think more the souls of the animals. I don't know. And yesterday in the garden, I asked the tree if he, how should I say, his roots, we should be like the plants, the energy that we take in also to share with the earth. And I asked him to connect him with his roots. I do more interact with the environment, with the people, not really. Also, perhaps in another way.
Yeah, no, that's wonderful. Yeah, I going into nature a lot for me. It's the same interaction, and understanding and sensing many beings and many souls that are experiencing in a different body structure, but however they are a soul. They are. They're no different, they're just interacting in the fields in a different way. And you can give and receive energies from any soul. And I always remember speaking about this a long time ago when I was interacting with, I was making a pond, a fish pond, and I was digging out the earth, and a lot of the stones that I was digging out, I felt very drained afterwards. And I spoke to Mr. Kesh, and he said yes, because they were taking. So some of these souls, some of these stones were taking energy, and some will give. And so everything has a soul. And as you've rightly pointed out, and there's many interactions we can have that is beyond and doesn't have to be in the form of a human being. There are countless trillions of souls in each and every moment. So we can interact and give consciously to many souls. That just go into the you said about the trees and the root systems, and they're all interacting and speaking with each other and connected underneath, and then the mycelium and all the other bacteria and everything, countless numbers of them, all souls, all interacted and all present, making up the totality. And we all, as conscious beings, if we have physical bodies, are breathing the same air. And what I receive in this environment, I then breathe out and you receive. And so it's an interaction and we all share. And so this is this conscious field strength of the planet Earth, and then into the environment, and then beyond and out further. So it's a wonderful interaction. And as I said, you can go inside or you can go outside, and it's the totality of some of the knowledge, I suppose. And I'm sure it's just the tip of the iceberg, as Mr. Kesh would say. We have much to learn.
Yes, thank you. You speak for me. Yes, yes, I have a lot more of it interaction outside, but I don't. They are not present. I don't look at it like you. If I feel souls around, yes, it's a lot of interaction, I think, because I am so much enjoying everything and with peace and very less hunger. So it must have a lot of interaction outside.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. So you're saying you're having a lot less hunger. How's that affecting you in your daily life? So if you're not having to expend so much energy looking for food, so does that give you more time to be more happy in your heart and more humble?
Yes, because this was a long wish inside me, and yes, I'm more peaceful. That's the reason why I'm praying more for the souls who I still eat, that they can change their emotion.
Yeah, absolutely, yeah. And so, yes, sorry, go carry on.
Then it's okay, you can.
So you said you spoke about praying. So praying can take many forms. For some people, as soon as we mention that word, theology crops up, and it becomes like a religious thing. So for you, is it? How do you describe this word?
I say it's. I am asking for support from the Creator and my soul, that the beings can change the negative emotion into good, something like that.
Okay.
It's yes, it's like that.
Thank you. That's a great explanation. Because I feel I sense that we all have our belief systems, and whatever they are, but there's certain triggers, there's certain words that bring up an emotion, bring up a field strength when we speak them, and because they've been spoken in a certain way by so many times, they become they have their own field strength. And so to speak about it and to interact with it in a different way, with a different understanding, which is the ethos of the universe and the ethos of consciously giving to another being unconditionally as much as we can in our physical bodies. It changes, for me and my personal experience, and from what I understand, it changes the whole field structure of the word. It takes it to a much deeper meaning, and it expresses it in such a beautiful way that it changes it. It changes the emotion of it, and opens it up so that it becomes beautiful. The essence of it. I'm not saying it wasn't a beautiful word before, but the essence of it opens up further. not just, it just doesn't just mean, for me, it changes this the meaning of from theology to much. It seems to be much wider, to expand upon it. It just seems that way for me, anyway. I don't know if it does for yourself.
Was this a question?
Yeah, sorry. Yeah, it's just my thoughts just coming out and then just expressing myself and then letting it go out into this great big wide conscious thought process that we that we're all interacting with in each moment.
Yes, yes, yes. I don't know the real praying, but also my words has changed to say something if I pray, because it's for the benefit for the others.
Yeah.
In the first line, yes.
Mm-hmm.
And I cannot blind my heart by doing it, like the eating, because I have to do something and not just only consume it with a sad heart.
Yeah. And there's the space gap. There's the energy flow of the field strength that you've just released and spoken. And yeah, thank you for that. Wonderful. I think, Rick, we've taken up probably longer than this we would normally do for this meeting. Is this correct?
That's getting to that point, yes.
Yeah, I thought it might be.
Getting a little nervous here.
Yeah, sorry, Rick. Well, so thank you so much for the interactions. Thank you.
Well, thank you both of you for that that portion. And so does anybody else have something they would like to present here? I wanted to see if we include everyone that wants to bring forward a testimonial for today's show. Judging by the quietness, I guess we must be nearing the end point for today. I would like to kind of wrap it up here before the hour, so we have whatever is next coming up available for people. Let me see, what do we have to announce? Well, of course, if there is nothing else, going once, going twice. Okay, I think we can safely end today's program. We have tomorrow on July 12th, Tuesday, July 12th, the weekly One Nation, One Planet, One Race for World Peace and Justice meeting, which starts at 4 p.m. Central European Time. And members of the Universal Council and support members are there to answer questions and bring forward wishes and generally bring peace to the planet in the ways that we work. So that's a general public meeting for people that can, if you can attend that, that would be wonderful. And I think that's all we need to announce for today. There's probably other things going on that I can't remember, but I think that's good for today. All right. Well, thanks everyone for your wonderful testimonials. I am very impressed with the depth that we get into in this workshop today. With it's not just someone healing their cut finger or some other physicality testimonial, but actually healing of some of the deeper internal wounds that we have as humans. And it's encouraging to see that when people go through this process, it seems to help and bring forward their own beauty by allowing those different incursions to pass and to develop a new part of ourselves that's maybe a little more peaceful and more present. So thank you very much for all those testimonials. And let me see, actually there was one very short testimonial in the testimonials website. Let me just get it up here. It was, I believe it was in Spanish. I did a translation. It's from Salto in Uruguay, from Alfonso in Salto, Uruguay. Could be, it might be Portuguese. In any case, the translation comes through to, talks about, first of all, a cure for COVID-19 for him personally, and mentions that 4 years ago, I had throat cancer, and it seems that everything has gone away. So his use of through the plasma technology, I'm not sure what the translation, Tamagua, plasma Tamagua, Tamanagua, didn't translate properly. So I'm assuming that is a plasma technology or plasma water process. 4 years ago, I had throat cancer, and it seems that everything has gone away. So a very simple, straightforward testimonial. And that's been posted to the website. All right, thanks everyone for today's testimonial, and we'll be back again, of course, next month in the second Monday of the month. Let me just get the date for that lined up here. We'll be in August then, and it will be August 8th, Monday, August 8th will be the next testimonials. So if you have something between now and then that you think that others would benefit from hearing about it, well, that would be great to hear from you next time around. All right, I'm going to go out with the Flight Enhancement Spaceship Unit, not the music version this time, but the word version, and allow that to be our guide, to guide us out into our next experience of life. Okay, take care, everyone, and we'll see you in the next public workshop, if not before then. Bye for now.
The revolutionary new Flight Enhancement Spaceship Unit is due to be launched in June 2022, and in the same year is expected to fly passengers into space, to the moon and beyond for a day or even several days at a time. There is no need for the Flight Enhancement Spaceship Unit to carry food or medicine, as it is equipped with the latest space technology for transportation, transmutation and deep space operation. This extraordinary breakthrough technology ushers in a new era of travel without the need of fuel, food, or medicine, even during the longest excursions into deep space. Each spaceship unit has a 4-passenger capacity for long or short duration flights, and has the capability to travel between cities on Earth in a matter of seconds to minutes, depending on the distance and speed. This ability to traverse massive distance in such incredibly short time is not just a breakthrough for human transport, it also completely revolutionizes the transportation of goods and cargo, and will rapidly overcome the need for one of our most polluting practices, namely marine shipping, as it finally breaks us free not only from the combustion of heavy diesel, but from the combustion of any fuel for propulsion in the future. The Flight Enhancement Spaceship Unit, a new paradigm in space travel, space medicine, and space technology.